This is something that everybody is waiting for any software company to come out with. And yes, I'm talking about the DaVinci Resolve software that just came out with an amazing, a new page to edit your photos. And a lot of people must be thinking about, we already have Lightroom, we already have Photoshop, then why use this? Here's something what we're going to talk about today is we're going to check out how efficient is the DaVinci Resolve 21 photo page, and can it actually replace Lightroom? Because what I've been listening to a lot of people is that yes, it is kind of killing Lightroom, it's gonna replace Lightroom, people are deleting Lightroom, but does it actually live up to what Lightroom actually is? Let's dive into it and see what the actual update is all about. So just to give you a quick overview, the DaVinci Resolve 21, you won't get it right in the update while using the software, but rather you have to go onto the website and then download it from there, because this is in the beta version and it's publicly available, so you can download it by yourself and then test it out. So something that DaVinci has done is incorporated a lot of AI tools. Yes, I mean, people are going crazy about AI. With this new AI feature that they have put in the DaVinci Resolve software is that you can search content with AI in telesearch. Now what that does is it's actually kind of detecting what all things are there in your video or photos, and then you can search it via typing. Like if you have some shots of dogs or animals or humans or birds or anything, you can just type in that particular element and it will give you all the videos, or it will kind of filter out those videos for you, wherein you can just kind of search via the subject name, if I would say, yes, subject name, and then just use those videos out of the pool of 100 short videos that you have technically took on an event or anything else. The second thing that they have done is advanced AI speed generator. Now what I would be reviewing today is the free version of DaVinci Resolve, but these all tools are actually in the studio version of DaVinci Resolve, so you can definitely check it out. If you have a studio version, so go download the studio version, or maybe just purchase the studio version, because DaVinci Resolve is one of the best software used to color grade all the Hollywood movies that you have probably possibly seen. The second thing is you can adjust the AI Cine Focus. Now what Cine Focus is, it can create depth in your flat images, flat videos. That is something new that they have already added, and this is also in the studio version. And then another new update that they have done is AI Face Age Transformers. I mean, I could probably talk to myself in my older age and then transform my face into the old thing, but yeah, this is something cool which probably people are going to use it to create content. And definitely anything that you see on social media is not real these days, so thanks to all these features that are coming up in the market. The next thing is that AI Face Shaper, and this is something that you can kind of, it's like a mask that kind of recognizes your face, and then you can probably change your face, kind of reshape it if you are fat, and make a thing or whatever it is. It's all happening through AI. So, and then there is AI blemish removal, probably for someone, we can use it for a wedding videos, where you could probably remove those smudges and the blemishes on your face, on the bride's face, something that every bride would want. Then the next thing is sync with the AI slate. So yeah, this is something for all the movie makers, that they can sync the audio and the video with just that slate when they click the slate. The second thing is extreme quality ultra sharpening, AI ultra sharpening. This could be useful if you're doing some cosmetic shots, some beauty shots people are taking, and you kind of miss out the focus right over there. So I think this could save you from losing that client. What we are going to talk in this place is the photo page. You can now use all your power tools that you use to color grade your videos to color grade your photos. Till now Lightroom was there, Capture One was there, and there were many other Luminar AI, and all these people that tried to kind of simplify or get you those looks that you're trying to do, the film looks. But here you have all in one place. You can now edit your videos as well as edit your photos. So today let's dive into this and see what all things we can do. And yes, you can color grade with all the nodes that you're taking. So let me just directly go into the software here. This is the software, and this is the actual video mode that you can see. And now we have this particular photo section over here. There we can import all our photos. From here I'm going to import the raw photos as well as JPG photos. You can edit raw photos in there altogether. So initially, as you can see, there is the media pool over here, and this is one album, create an album. So if you have to edit your photos, you have to probably create an album which kind of acts as a video timeline if you go into the video edit page over here. But right now what I will do is I will select all and I will create a new photo album. Let's just give it some name, and you will see all these photos over here. So firstly, something that every photographer want is to kind of select their photos, rate their photos to see which ones have turned out nice. If there's any duplicate photo, then you can always go down here, rate them from 4 to star, and you can see all these bunch of icons which you can then filter out of your 100 photos. So photo management, photo organization is pretty straightforward on the screen itself. And then you have these select and reject options here. So if you have two different photos of one particular subject, so like I have over here, one is this and one is this, I can see that this one is not a great photo, but this one is. So I'm going to use this particular photo. So what I can do is I can go on to this option and select this, so this gets marked, and for this one I will kind of reject this photo. And another hotkeys that you can use is by pressing S. So if you want to hard the picture, like select the picture, you can press S, and so if you press the S again, the D, like it gets deselected from your favorites. So technically, and to reject the photo you have to press X. So X is for rejection, S is for selection. So that is something that is really cool, that is right on the screen itself that you could do. The second thing is you have this inspector tab, wherein if your photo is raw, it's going to give you certain raw features, wherein you have the white balance. You can set the white balance, and you already have all the parameters that you see on the color page. So if you see the temperature, tint, contrast, everything, you're going to see all these parameters over here, and you can just edit your photos right across from there itself. So if I have to change the color temperature, I can just move it over here, and I have the histogram, the so big histogram that I would know all my colors, where they're going, are they getting clipped off, or I want to put in some tint. My exposure, I want to set the exposure right and put in some sharpening. I can play around with that. I can use highlights, make my highlights, and everything that you get your you use your color wheels to color grade your videos. And even I can do lift, the color wheel lift that is there, some gain that can again do the exposure. But now when I go into the photo mode, the photo section mode, it gives me everything. So if I want to crop in or zoom in the image, I can do it directly from here, and I can change the angle, make it round if my photos are coming very weird. So if my photos are kind of come a little tilted because I was tilted, so this is something where I could use it. Of course Lightroom had the same, and so as this software. And if my buildings, so technically when you're shooting a building from the bottom, and those you're shooting the skyscrapers, the buildings come a little bit tilted, so there you can change the pitch as well of the photo. Again, of course everything has it, every software had it. And another thing, if you don't want to do it from here, you can go, see this option, you can press it over here, and it will give you all the controls to do it, like change the pitch from vertical and horizontal and everything. And this one is kind of changing, cropping the section. I can directly crop my photo from here, and if I want to rotate, this is something I can just kind of use this circle wheel to kind of manipulate my photo and change the direction, and all I have to do is press enter, and the cropping sets off. So now again you have some cropping from here as well. You can do it from here, so it automatically adjusts your photo accordingly. Then the second thing is you can adjust the temperature and everything. This is again using from the color wheel over here. So if you see, I've set it to 580, and here it is set it to 580. So this is like kind of interlinked with the color page, and once you do all the settings over here, you can also go on the color page and use all those incredible wheels that you get into, all those power edits that you do for your videos. You can use it over here as well. You can use the log if you want to change the highlight, the mid-tones, the offset, the shadows. You can do everything, like each and every aspect you can change. Yes, everybody would be talking about where are the S curves. So it's right over here. You can even create multiple nodes and use those S curves over here and make your photos look much better. And yes, so you're not losing out on that. If you're looking out for masking, your masking is over here. I can set off the masking right across. So that is something you could do. Again, you must be thinking that, but Lightroom has that AI selection features of sky, the subject and everything. DaVinci Resolve does have the magic mask as well, but right now in this I do not have it. This is the free version, so you will get that magic mask in the studio version, in which you can select the subject, the background, and whatever the area you select, you can do that. But that's up to me to then check it out later on how effective is that. But for now, yes, you could do all those items in your in your edit page. After doing all these mini mini adjustments, one of the best thing what I love is, and I've been wondering, I've been dreaming of getting those looks, the film look on my photos as well. I want the halation, I want the bloom, I want the grains that the film look has, and for which I have to kind of buy multiple softwares. Here's something that I have got for you guys is, you go into your effects. I have this Dehancer and I've been using this plugin for almost a year now, and I cannot vouch for any other better film look plugin that you want to do. Every film look that you have seen in your films, the Hollywood films, you can create directly from here. If you don't believe, you can buy, you can try, check it out, buy this software. This one software is one lifetime purchase, and if you use, yes, I have done a collaboration with them, but I personally have used it and I'm loving it. I color grade all my videos with that, but now I have the feature to color grade my photos as well with it. So if you guys want to try this out, and this actually you can work it out in the free version of DaVinci. You can use my code Sampann to get a 10% discount. You wish to go check it out, you can check the link in the description and also the promo code. My raw photos, I can now color grade them in a Rec 709 format and use all these 66 plus film looks that I have over here, and yes, get that color look on my photos. And not only this, I can do it to all the photos in my album over here. I can do the film developer, I can change the contrast here, see how it is looking now, like everything is going crazy. And you can do black, you can change your black points and the white points. In the print down over here, you have the options to get a Fujifilm 351 print film look, a Kodak 2383 print film look, and a glossy film look. So everything, you get all the controls over here. You can change your color heads, and the best thing about this is you can of course add in some film grain over here, which I don't want to because it's kind of a very flat image. But yes, we're gonna try it on something else. And something that I really miss out in the photos is the halation. Once I enable it, if you see that red thing happening around the edges on the highlights, you may not be able to see it over here, but right now if you see, you can see that yellowish reddishness happening over here. And then the bloom, if I turn on the bloom, it's gonna bloom up the highlights for me, as you can see. And I'm gonna do ever so slightly that all the film looks have it. But if we check out this, let's suppose we try to edit this photo, all I would do is go in Dehancer over here, apply this. Eventually it's gonna come to a default. I would go down, press option, and minimize all the settings, go down into film grain, disable film grain. My input will remain Rec 709 because that's something the raw images can kind of edit into. Here I can change the exposure and try to fix that, but before that I would go into the film and I would see what kind of film look do I need here. Do I do a Vision 200T or a 200D? My personal favorite out here is the Ektar 100, and I like to use this as the base and kind of then go down below and change all of those settings, the exposure, the temperature. I like to make it a little cooler, kind of to give that look over here, and change a little bit over here, and then you can just play around with all those sliders. And something that I was really excited about was that I could put bloom in my photos, and as you can see, all these highlights and kind of edge. If you can see this edge over here, you can see the bloom effect happening, and that is something which I really love. And then comes the halation. So halation, if you see these edges again, this is something that a film look would probably have it, and I can control and put that film look on, and voila, that is all over here. And then the next thing is you can quickly export your photos in JPEG, PNG, HEVC, and this would you can export it in your original size that you shot the photo in. Your color space will remain original. These were all the kind of excitement that this software brings with the photo page, and you can even now put all the fusion effects in your photos. So if you go here, DaVinci Resolve has come up with some crazy, you can go down, you can write some chrono effects, you can do all the visual effects in here that generally you used to use After Effects to put in your videos or the photos. Now DaVinci has put it in the fusion page for you guys. There's probably around 100 of them which you can try and check it out. All FX artists, SFX artists, not SFX, the visual effects artist. Do let me know if this is something that you guys would ever use it while editing your videos, or you would still be using After Effects. So that is something you would check it out. But my excitement and what the topic we were talking about in this page was the photo page. And yes, I think I'm kind of sold out, so you can also get sold out if you plan to buy it. So yeah, that's more of what DaVinci Resolve 21, the beta version, talks about. And yes, being it a beta version, there are a lot of features that they are still working on, and once it finally rolls out, that will be the time that we would know how effective is this, and do we actually need to delete Lightroom. Something that I didn't like was, if I want to export the photos, I do not have the flexibility to change the resolution. If I go down over here in the proper export settings of the Moto, I can choose the JPEG high resolution, but I cannot change the resolution. I can go down to short side, change the pixel to according to what I want, the megapixel 8 and whatever the thing I've shot. The resolution remains PPI and PPCM. You can of course change it, but I cannot change the actual resolution of what the photo it was shot in. So from 4000 into 6000 megapixels pixels, that was my photo shot in. And yeah, that is something that DaVinci can look into if they are giving this flexibility, because in Lightroom we get all those flexibility, because you have to export photos for your social media. You have to and yes, if you want to export that, you can change your aspect ratio from here. From this part, you can change the aspect ratio to 16:9, 1:1, 4:5 to technically align it for all your social media needs. So yes, this is there, but yeah, something is there, something is happening, and I'm really happy to have this feature in there, because now I can match up my photos with the videos. And as you see, they come as video aspects, but yeah, I cannot change the size or anything if I'm editing along with my videos. So that is one thing which which I would love to see, if I can control the duration of it. If I change, I cannot change, it stays as is because it's an image. So something that I really dislike about here is my flexibility to change the duration of the photo. This is something that DaVinci can look into. More details I will come up in the new video. Until now, see ya.